Hey, good morning, Justice Warriors. How are you guys today? It's Wednesday. It's just a little bit after a quarter after 9. It's the 22nd of February. So I see there's no one in my chat. I'm all alone. That's okay. I like my solitude. I'm good. So I wanted to talk with you guys about this freaking Idaho 4 case. Wanted to talk with you guys about phonies. Wanted to correct myself on a couple of items yesterday. I said that Freud and Jung had a bromance of 13 years, and I misquoted the number. It was 7 years. So I think it was from 2000, from 1906 until 1913. And the number 13 was very significant in their relationship because the first time they met, they spoke together, the two of them in private for 13 hours. So, anyway, it'd been a while since I reviewed my Freud and Jung connection. So, I was what you called a Jungian when I was studying psychology in undergrad. And Freud and Jung had a huge falling out. Their falling out was actually about human sexuality. So it's very pertinent, I feel, to the discussion right now with the Idaho 4. And specifically, especially Freud's denial of his seduction theory. So his theory was that there was a lot of SA going on in the community that he lived in, right? He came up with all of his material, and he'd done his research, and he'd spoken with victims or witnesses, and he did his public presentations, and he was met with a very unwelcome. I think they threw food at him, actually, seriously. He kind of went into hiding, and he went into this whole denial of his seduction theory. And then he came up with the Oedipus complex and the Oedipus complex, and he placed all the blame on the children that were making up these stories, allegedly. I mean, it's really a nightmare, and it's really where the foundation of our modern day psychology begins and where it kind of ends right now, still to this day. The situation in Idaho 4, I was listening to Subconscious Mouth this morning, and I really like that guy. I think he's really smart. One of the things he said that made so much sense to me is that what we're looking at with Idaho 4 could be something far more sinister and corrupt than it appears. And it appears very sinister and decrepit, right? Um, and even if it's not that, even if it's not part of some corruption puzzle, the problem is that the corruption puzzle still exists. So just yesterday in New York, oh, what is the name of the fella? Alexandro Garcia Luna was convicted of being a double agent for the DEA and the Mexican cartels, taking in millions of dollars of our taxpayer money and at the same time being paid off from Mexico. So, what I see as even a bigger problem with that is that the media is really not interested in the case. It's nuts, isn't it? So I don't know if there's something wrong or if am all alone here. It's always nice just to know that it's working. So, um, yeah, if somebody is here and can hear me, please say something so I know that it's working and it's not like a glitch with the system, because this is highly unusual. But again, life is highly unusual, huh? So, you guys know I'm a huge fan of Harsh Reality. So Harsh Reality is who I first saw this Justin character on. And then, as Harsh so often does, he says, okay, I'm not going to cover this case anymore. I'm not going to cover this angle anymore. And then, lo and behold, he's got a new video out about it. And I love that. Okay. I do. It cracks me up. And I just think, I get it. I understand being really sick of a case. It's annoying. It's like hitting your head against a flippin' brick wall. And at the same time, it's sort of like the train wreck. You can't help but look because it is fascinating and you want to figure out this puzzle. But Harsh said there's three possibilities with this Justin character. And I agree. Justin is either correct about his crazy ass claims. And I just have to add, his crazy ass claims are not as crazy to me as the official narrative. The official narrative is absurd, in my opinion. Anyway, back to what Harsh said about three possibilities. He's either correct, or Justin is significantly mentally ill, or Justin is being played like a puppet. And normally in my life, when I get to a point where I'm like, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe it's the other thing, I find for myself that the answer is almost always all of the above. So I wonder if Justin might have some accuracy. I wonder if he might have some uh, problems with his mental health. Who doesn't? Come on, be real. And I wonder if he's being played. And again, we're kind of all being played, I think, in my opinion, this whole thing with YouTube. And here's a good place to do my disclaimer. Everything I say is simply my opinion. It is for the sake of starting a conversation, hoping to open up an intelligent discussion where I have an opportunity to learn, and I hope to present an opportunity for others to learn from each other. And that's why I like to do these open discussions with the chat. And I'm just blown away that there's nobody in here. But I know everybody's busy with work and that kind of thing. Most people do their lives in the evening, but that doesn't work for me. I'd rather do it right now, even without my friends, without my homies. Anyway, my videos are made specifically for YouTube. And as we all know, YouTube is an entertainment platform. So I find it imperative to include that in my disclaimer. Please hit that like button, share, and subscribe if you feel inclined and would be so kind. And I am extremely happy to have finally nudged above the 3,000 subscriber mark. So thank you everyone for that. And I have been trying to kind of make my videos shorter just because we're all so busy and, out of respect for all of our time. I could save the most time by just not doing them, but that's absurd. My whole passion is for finding truth and finding justice, especially in situations where it looks like justice is being delayed or denied. And justice delayed is justice denied in some people's opinions. So, like I said, Justin's story is far less cockamamie to me than the bushy eyebrow killer narrative. And Dylan being too scared to dial 911 and then summoning her friends that just didn't get around to dialing 911 until they tried to take the pulse of somebody that was in extremely bad condition, hideous condition. And I don't like the way it's worded in the kind of the party line narrative that his friend, Ethan's friend, took his pulse and then yelled out to call 911. You can't take somebody's pulse if they don't have one. You can attempt to take someone's pulse, but it's just so bizarre to me. If somebody's in that kind of condition, you're going to know to yell to call 911 before you find out if they have a pulse or not. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So it's also crazy for law enforcement just to like brush all that off and just say, it's okay. Dylan had to summon her friends before they called 911. And then, it took our lead detective 4 hours to get here. No, that's nowhere near okay. Nowhere near okay. So, how on earth did the red stuff leak out of the floorboards on both floors? So there was red stuff leaking to the outside of the house coming from the second floor bedroom where Ethan and Xana were. And it's, you've seen pictures of it, I'm sure, on the little cement area as you're coming up the hill to go from the front door of the house up to the sliding glass doors that go into the kitchen. And you can see it on the outer wall there. And then there was also some seeping through the floorboards from the third floor down to the second floor. So from Maddie's room into the kitchen, like on the kitchen cupboards. Like, so that's an excessive amount of the red stuff. And then there's no mention of the red stuff. There's not even mention of what I just said in the affidavit. So to me, there's just too much effery going on with this case. And I mean, it's a lot of effery from jump. I mean, you've got 4 college kids wiped out by a bushy eyebrow ninja, mad professor from Pullman. Like, yeah, right. Okay. Um, Another question I have is the angel wings, the tattoos that these sorority sisters have, and that Bethany and Dylan and a bunch of other friends and family got with the victim's initials. Those little tattoos remind me of a branding. Have you guys thought of that? Have you thought of those little angel wing tattoos as sort of a branding, like you see with these weird Epstein types of situations? It's just another thing subconscious mouth brought up again, that so many of us have brought up again and again, is the white Hyundai Elantra being the one that the criminal defendant owns, being a model from 2015, and how the law enforcement said that they were looking for a 2011 to 2013. And then when they arrested the criminal defendant, they said, yeah, well, we figured out that it was possibly a 2014, 2015, or 2016, but we didn't bother sharing that with the public. But yeah, we knew that. Yeah, we got this. I mean, it just reminds me of like a cat falling off of a ledge and then landing on its feet and trying to pretend like it did it on purpose. I mean, it's laughable, but it is not funny. It's funny, not funny. So, these are just a couple of my concerns. So today is Wednesday, which, according to this new character on the streets of YouTube, Justin, he was going to have an interview with Dylan today, allegedly. Maybe not. Let me just point out that on Justin's YouTube page, underneath where it says Justin, next to his little profile picture, it says at JRod Speaks. I don't know what that's about. I noticed this yesterday. Took a screenshot of it in case it disappears. But I'm like, things that make you go, And, I might just keep this one short since I don't have anyone in here on my chat. So I don't really know that it's working. It seems like it is. But like I said, I've been trying to make shorter videos. So this one is already about 15 minutes. So I might just wrap it up here. There's a lot of crazy going on. I'm really curious to see if anything further happens with the narrative that this Justin person is putting out there. I try so hard to only say positive things about content creators, and the content creator that had him come on a 3-hour live the other night for 2 hours of her 3-hour live She was pretty polite and nice to him during that entire conversation that they acted like was completely unplanned and spontaneous. I don't buy anything at face value. But then there was a post put on the channel's community site that uh, was pretty aggressively slamming Justin, in my opinion. And I just found that diabolical, really. And then the wishy washy, the back and forth. No, I'm not slamming him. Oh, but I'm slamming him. You know, people can make mistakes, people can be incorrect, but, owning your own part of it and just being authentic and knowing what you know and trusting yourself and trusting your judgment, being able to admit when you've made an error or a mistake. To me, that's all just part of being grown up, really. And I'm trying to be a grown up. I feel like I might be sometimes, but I don't know. This whole thing with YouTube is just really making me scratch my head. Like, there's a lot of propaganda, you guys, and some of it I think people like. People get sucked into it. People want to make these videos that get thousands of views, a million views, because they get a big paycheck. And then some of them, it doesn't seem to me that some of them care if their material is actually true. That truth and justice kind of fly out the window when it comes to fame and fortune, and that's just ridiculous. So I'm going to ask you guys to do your own homework, do your own research, be careful who you trust. And that includes me, of course. I mean, look at me. I'm crazy. I got my little bunnies, got my freaking ironing board. What am I doing here anyway? Just trying to get to some truth and trying to have some fun with it. And I am just so delighted to have this channel that's been going on for half of a year. I hope that I can do another half of a year. And the reason I do videos every day is just to try to get myself into the habit, really, and to get used to talking to the screen, because it's a pretty artificial situation. And I do get a lot out of it. I really enjoy the conversations in the chat and in the comments. So let me know what you think. And I will wrap this up as I always like to remind me and you when I sign off. Take care of yourself, eat well, stay hydrated, exercise, rest, relax, get your sleep. First and foremost, above all else, make sure you get your rest. You have to rejuvenate yourself. Just like you have to stay hydrated and you have to have good nutrition. And good nutrition is high protein and a lot of veggies and some fruit and then a little bit of other stuff, right? Fresh air and sunshine are things that a lot of people don't think about as just as important as the hydration and the nutrition. And then the meditation and the prayer. There are some people who believe that that is single-handedly the very most important thing for our health. And I would not argue that. I think it's all very important. So take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, insist that other people treat you with kindness and respect, and peace out. I will probably do a second one today that maybe is a little bit shorter than this one. And then I'll try to schedule my regular live for tomorrow morning at about 9:15. So hopefully you can join me. Thanks so much for watching. Sending you light and sending you love. Have a great day.